Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Shannon. Okay, so we're going to be talking about a few different things today. So I was thinking, I'm going to count to 3.
Oh,
and then
thank God you're doing it. I can't count that high.
Okay. And then we're both going to say a word that has to do with the theme of something we're talking about today on the podcast, okay?
Just one word?
Just one word. Well, like, it can be a phrase.
Okay. I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
Rapist
Showing up
mother.
for yourself.
Wow, those are really different.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So what I heard was mine, which was rapist mother, and then yours was showing up for yourself.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about those two things, I guess. And what else?
We're going to be talking about why I went to grad school straight out of undergrad, kind of like a personal anecdote going on there. And then showing up for yourself, meaning like showing up with the pain and with the experiences you've gone through and understanding the value of those experiences.
And then following that, we're going to be talking about court, just kind of like laying out the courtroom in general, what you're quote unquote supposed to wear versus what we wore and the stressors behind that, as well as some really lovely stories about running into our rapist and his mother in the hallway on the way to the bathroom.
Love it.
During court. So Lauren is in grad school right now, right? She's getting a Master of Environment.
I hate that. Who the fuck?
She's
like,
the
I'm
master
sorry,
of the
like,
environment.
There are so many master's programs that it's just like, oh, like a master's, fucking, what's it called?
All I'm saying is that saying you're the master of the environment is a little funny to me.
It's funny to us too, and actually the name is changing.
That's good.
This summer, it's going to be Masters in Science of Environmental something or other, depending on like what you're in. But it's actually been really controversial because like saying you're a master of something is like low-key racist as fuck.
Yeah.
And has like colonialism ties. And so this whole past year, like my grade has been like fighting the name and being like, we shouldn't be calling ourselves masters of the environment.
Or of anything.
And so now they're finally changing the name. And so it's going to be after I graduate, but I can still put it on my resume as like, I'm getting an MS, like a master's in science, which kind of lit. Because I took one science class this entire time I was here.
But so you're in grad school now. You went straight from undergrad right into grad school. Like you literally...
I had to take summer classes because I was like a little bit behind because of, all the trial stuff and like, I was really fucked up in undergrad, okay? I had a hard time. Like, makes sense. And so I was a little bit behind. I had to take summer classes. I literally had like a month break from when I graduated undergrad to coming into my program now. And for like the past like year, I was like, why did I do that? Like, I didn't get any sort of break, like no breathing room. Like I just fucking
reset. Yeah.
Full sent that. And I was like kind of like reflecting on that this week because I think that like burnout has been super fucking real. And like I'm finishing up, like one semester left. I'm finishing up this like really hard internship. It's been a crazy semester and like the burnout is like fucking real. Like when I have like free time, I come home and like watch TV.
It's like mouth open, like mouth breathing, jaw on the floor, just, gazing, looking at the TV type.
Yeah, because I don't have energy to do anything else, which sucks. But I was like really thinking about this. And I was also kind of frustrated because like I feel like in the past year have put a lot of emphasis on my social life. And I've put a lot of emphasis on having like social experiences and like drinking and like things like that. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think other people can perceive that as like you don't care or like all you care about is partying or all you care about is having fun, and they don't maybe see like all the hard work you're doing like next to that and like behind the scenes. And like I think that I have been shitting on myself for that. Like I've just been like
shaming yourself for like
kind of like shaming myself for having fun.
Yeah.
And then I was like thinking about it and I was like, I didn't get a college experience.
No.
Like I was sexually assaulted my first semester of college. And then like that basically defined every single semester after that. Like we were done with trial my senior year of college
Yeah.
And then I had 1 semester left, but half of that semester I couldn't get out of bed. You know, and so I was like,
post-trial blues.
That's
that's a different episode.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, but yeah, so we could also call it that.
Yeah.
But like I was so hard on myself this past year because I'm like, Lauren, like, why are you allowing yourself to like go have so much fun? Like, why are you like drinking every weekend? Why are you being super social? And it's like, because I didn't get that. I didn't have the luxury of having that any of my 4 years of college. And so like this past like year and a half has been the first time I've had a real college experience. And that has been like really important and special to me. But no one like really, like I've never really like told people that.
Right.
You know, and instead of like shamed myself for it, or other people have been like frustrated because like I've been super social and like that's what I've been focusing on. But then I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like I didn't get to do this from like 18 to 21 like you're supposed to. I didn't get to do any of this. And this is like the first time that I've gotten to do that. And like, yeah, like I've made some mistakes.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
But you're still young. Like, it's not like you're going to grad school after having a 20-year career and you're married with kids now. Like, you are 23. And so, you know, you missed that experience earlier on, but now you're getting it and you're still young and you're still getting your work done. I think that's a big thing. Like, if you were a lazy person who like literally never did anything and didn't care about your schoolwork, like, okay. But at the end of the day, and I think most people who are farther out from college, they'll say, yeah, of course it was about, you know, studies and learning and all that, but it's also about spending time with friends and growing those relationships and literally just having fun. Like, it's okay to just have a good time on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
You know?
And like a lot of people say that too, you know, they'll be like decades out of college or even like a few years out of college and they'll say like, I spent so much time studying. I spent so much time in the library and yeah, I got perfect grades, but I didn't get any of the other experiences. Like I didn't like go to parties or like meet a ton of new people. All I did was study. And they regret that.
Yeah. Even those like valedictorians, I think a lot of their speeches are like, yep, here I am with my 4 point whatever GPA. And I have no friends. So that sucks. Or memories.
Yeah. So it's like, well, what do you do with that? But I think that like going from there to here and like being as young as I am, I feel like I can like take all of that and like take all those like memories and things that I went through and put it into stuff that I like really care about. And I feel like I haven't lost momentum.
Right.
You know, and like if you like care about stuff, you go through things and then like you go do something else and then come back to that a decade later, you might like lose some of that momentum.
Right.
And so in a way, like I'm kind of glad that even though I'm burnt out and tired all the time, I have that and I have the momentum and I have that drive and passion to be like doing all these things right now. And I also have the capacity because I'm only 23.
Right.
You know, and I think that's like.
So did you go to grad school right after undergrad so that you could continue that momentum, or what was the main reason?
I think that like, I know that I could have pushed it off like a year or two, but I think that I didn't because I wanted to have that college experience. I knew that I wanted to get a master's degree, but I was like, I could wait a few years, but like if I go now, I'll be 22 and I'll still be able to have those experiences that I didn't get to have in undergrad. Okay. And I think that was like a big reason why I came straight into here.
Are you sure it wasn't because you just wanted to be in the same state as me while I was still in school?
That was totally a perk.
What can I say? I'm hard to get away from.
Speaking of my grad school experience, I kind of had this like weird thing that happened on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just love how this factors into like so many of my thought processes.
Sexual assault.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of just seeps in. It's kind of just everywhere.
It's just there all the time.
Yep.
I'm taking this class and it's like a legislative class. And the point is that my professor wants us to focus on a societal ill that you really care about. And, you know, most people are focusing on like environmental shit because I'm in an environmental grad school. But like, I was like, nah, I'm going to do something different. And so you have to like read a book about what societal ill you want to focus on. So after my class, I was like, okay, I'm going to go up to my professor. I'm going to tell her what book I want to read. And, you know, it's about sexual assault and it's about like the justice system. And I got like really nervous and I was like, why am I so nervous to do this? Like, I just like care about something that's awesome. But I realized it's because I feel like if you outwardly communicate that you care about sexual assault, then people are automatically going to assume that you have been assaulted. And that feels like really vulnerable, and that feels like really uncomfortable and scary. But I also was sitting there and I was like, but like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, even if she does think that, she's just like wonderful woman. She's a fucking badass. Like,
right.
Great. You know, like, this is my story and this is my narrative. And I have for so long been like shying away from it that like, what am I going to get out of that? You know what I mean? Like, if I just like own up to it and like own that this has happened to me, that is just going to be able to start like way more conversations. And I think that like, it's just one of those things where in general, having these conversations and showing support for, you know, sexual assault or like violence against women or whatever it might be, can be like really uncomfortable to bring up into conversations. But we just kind of have to like start normalizing that. And I think even for myself, I need to start normalizing that.
Absolutely.
And like, it just like felt really like weird and scary, but I was like, what the fuck? No, like, who cares? You know, just like go like have that conversation, go talk to her about it. Like, what is she gonna do? Think that there's something wrong with you? But I think that we've been taught that there is something wrong with us.
Right. It's that victim.
Yeah, blaming, shaming, whatever you want to call it. And so I think that like it is so hard to like own your narrative because we've been taught that like no, like but it's your fault. Mm-hmm. You're the slut.
Yeah.
Like,
and by showing up and owning the narrative and talking to your professor, like you were saying, it opens the door for conversations.
Yeah,
as a whole.
Conversations that are not happening that much and that like need to happen. And I think that like goes into the idea of like showing up. Not only showing up for yourself, but like showing up for something that like really matters. And like when you do show up to whatever it is, even if it has nothing to do with like sexual assault or whatever, like it can be your job, it can be a project, it can be anything. Like showing up, understanding that like the experiences that you've had, no matter how fucking painful they are a value add. Mm-hmm. And I think that like we forget that. And instead of like understanding our experiences are a value add, we think that they like take away from ourselves or from like an experience we're bringing to others. And that's so stupid. Like, we are sitting right here because we have something that we can bring to society because of the pain we went through. Mm-hmm. We are showing up like for ourselves with who we are 100% for everyone.
Yeah. Because then we're also, like you were kind of just saying, then we're representing a big group of people who have also been through this, right? We're giving them a voice by being vulnerable with ourselves and to everybody else. I think something that's hard for me is thinking about how, like, I don't have a PhD. I don't have a master's degree. I don't have those sort of letters in front or behind my name. And that makes me feel like I don't have the right to talk about something like this. So yesterday I went to this public speaking conference, and there was a ton of people in the industry who, you know, have the PhDs, have the extra bachelors, have the masters, all of that. And we were doing this sort of workshop, and we're talking about something that's called PCT. So it's, what problem do you want to solve? What credibility do you have to talk about it or / solve it? And then how do you want the problem to be transformed in the future? And I'm filling this out, and I'm like, oh, problem, sexual assault, lack of conversation, blah, blah, blah. And then I get to the credibility portion, and I wrote, because I've been through it. Like, that's my credibility. And when I wrote it, it felt like it looked really small on the page, that it didn't really mean much because I didn't write down, oh, I'm a psychologist who's been studying, you know, the effects on the brain of sexual assault 5 years down the road. It's just, I've been through it. And it felt like it wasn't enough. And kind of hearing you talk about how, like, your story is enough, it's making me realize that just because I don't have a degree doesn't mean I'm not qualified to talk about it, because I went through it. I went through the pain, right. I suffered, and here I am today, still talking about it, trying to promote conversations and all of that.
I think that, like, because you've been through it, you have the most fucking credibility. Like, I understand psychologists can know a lot, and they play a very, very important role in all this and in the healing process and everything. But that can almost make it even harder to digest what they're saying, because they can be removed from the actual fact of the matter and the actual experience. And, you know, maybe they have gone through it too. And, you know, that does create a more personal tie and validity. But when you have anyone like in academics or something, like explaining something to this, it's just very far removed in a way. But when you have someone sitting in front of you and is like, well, I've gone through this. Like, this is fucking real for me. That gives you more credit than any of those fucking PhDs, MA, whatever little letters they have after their name. And I think that we have to remember that. And I think when we're talking about any fucked up shit that goes on in society, you know, like if that's sexual assault, any sort of violence, you know, whatever it might be, like hearing from those people that have gone through it, that is the most impactful, you know, like whenever like I'm in school and I'm studying some like, you know, awful environmental case, and you come across videos or even like readings where it's like a person who lost their child due to lead poisoning.
Right.
That shit is going to hit you harder than anything because they experienced that burden, you know, more than the scientist did, more than that academic did, more than that lawyer did. They experienced it on the ground. And I think that gives more validity and more credibility than anything else. And we can't discredit that. And we have to remember that. And that is a part of owning that and showing up.
We need to put more value into the pain that people have experienced. So with kind of, you know, this whole thing of showing up for yourself, showing up with vulnerability, there's this question of how do you show up for a court trial for sexual assault? Like, what does it look like to walk in the courtroom? What are you supposed to wear? How are you supposed to act? How do you think you should act? How you should actually act? Is there any shoulds at all? And this is kind of a conversation that I had a lot with myself as well as my parents and some friends prior to going to the actual court trial and like showing up in the courtroom.
Yeah. I mean, I think like there's this like weird fine line between like showing up for you and then showing up for the goddamn show that the lawyers are about to put on. I know that sounds really weird, but it's just true.
It's a circus.
You are told wear what feels comfortable, wear what you feel confident in. But then if you look good, you're going to be somehow like shamed for that or like blamed somehow. Like, oh, like she looks really pretty. Therefore, like she must have been asking for it. And therefore she was not assaulted because like, look at her in this courtroom wearing those fucking high heels. Well, this is what I feel comfortable in. This is what I feel confident in because I look fucking good right now. And I feel like I can walk into this courtroom and own my goddamn shit. But now you're telling me I can't dress like this because if I do, then somehow the jury is going to decide that I'm lying.
Well, yeah, I had done a lot of research about like what do I wear to court, and like you were saying, my attorney and all of our attorneys that were involved in this said like wear what makes you feel comfortable. Like this is going to be a really uncomfortable experience, so you should wear something that makes you feel really good. But at the same time, after a lot of internet research, it's like, well, it's probably best to wear shoes that are closed-toed and that don't have a heel so that you appear a little bit smaller. And wear clothes that aren't too tight because it might appear a little bit sexual. And you don't want to wear too much makeup because once again, that leads into the sexual thing. But so it was weird because I started shopping for court clothes and it was really important to me to wear a blazer of some sort. Like I feel the most confident and the most like womanly when I put on a nice ass blazer and pants.
We
like a
fucking
suit.
Love a pantsuit, y'all.
We love it. And I was having a really hard time finding these sorts of female suits. And a lot of the times I would shop for like 30 minutes and I would just be crying, you know, in the mall, trying to hold back tears because I'm like, I can't get it right. Like I felt so trapped in this narrative of, you know, what society tells women should look like. And I'm like, I should just be able to show up in whatever I want. But I'm sitting here trying to pick out a blazer. And my only thought is this blazer going to be too loud? Is this blazer going to look like I should be sexually assaulted? Is it going to look like I couldn't be sexually assaulted because I look too powerful? And I just felt so trapped. And I'm like, this isn't what I should be focusing on. I should be focusing on, you know, taking care of my mental health before going to court. Not, do I wear this pointy-toed heel or this square-toed heel? What makes me look more innocent, but not so innocent that I'm a child and don't have a voice? And it was a really, like, part of the process that was really hard for me. Like, very overwhelming. Also, not to mention that our the court-martial was an entire week long, and I was planning on going to every single day of it. So you need not just one outfit, not just 2 outfits, but 5 outfits, and ended up going into Saturday, so we needed 6 outfits. Dressing myself is hard in general on a daily basis, so that was...
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we already talked about how your decision-making thought processes became a lot worse after you were assaulted, and, like, deciding what you were going to wear and things like that became a lot worse. And then you have this thing where it's, like, you put so much pressure on it, and you're like, this could be, like, the fucking ride or die. Like, if I wear the wrong thing, like, that could be the one thing that, like, tips it over the edge, and they decide that he's not guilty because of subconsciously the way I was looking. You know what I mean? Like, the jury might not even be aware that they're doing that, but in the back of their heads, you know, it's there. It's just like, you know, in judging and like certain sports like gymnastics or things like that, skating, where you're not supposed to judge them based on how you look, but you probably fucking are, whether you realize it or not, because if they look better, if they look more jacked, if their hair is waxed, like for like men's gymnastics, like things like that, like they're going to look better. Therefore, like, you're going to be more likely to give them a good score. Like, I feel like it's the same thing. You walk into the courtroom and you automatically feel judged in every single way. There's so many eyes on you. So if you're not wearing the exact right goddamn thing, who the fuck knows? And I think that, like, makes it really, really scary and makes it really, really stressful. And I don't think that there's, like, a right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
And that's what's tough. And I think it really does come down to wearing what you feel most comfortable in. Because I know for me, like, I had a suit that I loved already that I have worn to like military events and things like that. So like I knew it was appropriate, but it was also like a fucking cool ass suit. And I felt like a goddamn badass. And I wore high heels because I was like, I want to feel powerful.
And Lauren doesn't even wear high heels normally.
Yeah,
She looks really funny when she walks.
Okay, I cannot walk in high heels.
She looks like a man wearing high heels.
But I already walk like a guy. I already walk like a guy. But then when you put high heels on me, it just exaggerates the fact that I walk like a guy. Because I'm just like clunking my way around. It's like really honestly embarrassing.
It's pretty funny.
But like that was a decision I made because more than anything, like I needed to feel powerful or I knew that I was going to crumble.
Right. And sometimes the smaller things, such as like, you know, we talked about music in a previous episode and now we're talking about clothes, like those seem like small things, but if they can make you feel more confident, then they become a much bigger deal and a much bigger thing. And something that I had also thought about was that we knew that our jury, the majority of them, were a bit older in the sense of an older generation. And so, you know, I don't want to assume anything, but it was a thought in my mind of if they are from a certain generation, then they might have certain preconceived notions of what women, quote unquote, should wear. So that was also kind of a present thought in my mind. Similar to you, I did end up wearing a suit. I didn't wear a suit. Well, I know I wore a blazer almost every day and some sort of dress pant. But every day I wore these awful granny looking, not fun flat shoes. Like they were like, these things were not cute. They were not Shannon, but I wore those every day of court. And then the day that I gave my impact statement, I wore this like light blue blazer top and these high heels they're like a cylinder heel and they're, tortoiseshell and their pointy toe. Like those were my power shoes.
They were like, awesome.
Power shoes. But at the same time, I still felt like there was a degree that I made myself smaller. Like I still wore makeup, but I didn't wear probably as much face makeup. I wore mascara because someone on our team said, hey, if you cry and you're wearing mascara, it's not a bad thing if it starts running down your face.
Prosecuting attorney?
Yeah. I mean, they do have a point. If you cry and you have mascara running down your face,
it's much more dramatic. And that's what I meant with like the whole like it's a show. It really is a goddamn show, especially for like lawyers. I'm not trying to shit on lawyers, but like they will do what they can to turn it into something that is like a goddamn play. And it's like very interesting
because they're both arguing.
Yeah. And like they want to like put on a show for the jury and be like, these are the facts, like whatever. But like part of that is that like, yeah, we asked, like, should we wear makeup? And they were like, well, mascara will run. And if you cry, that's fucking awesome. Not actually. Yeah. But, like, that was the idea, was that, like, the sadder we look, the better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you can't look too sad because then you're over-exaggerating.
Yeah, and then you're just too overly emotional.
Right.
Because you're a fucking woman.
Exactly. But yeah, so there was all these weird stressors with like what to wear and all that. So we had to reset for a second. And Lauren goes, your fly's down. So I'm really sorry if I hope I didn't expose
There's
anything.
no way you could have seen that. Your like sweatshirt's covering it. Anyways, Shannon wrote some fucking awesome journal entries throughout this time.
Too kind.
Yeah. Well, your writing during this time was just tragic, but it was beautiful. It was tragically beautiful.
The best writing. I've always liked to write. I've produced some bad things, some decent things, some things I'm proud of, and I look back. I have a document that has 37,000 words on it, and it's just like a journal. Like I write poems in there. I write journal entries, thoughts, whatever. And I've noticed that I never write when I'm happy.
No, why would you? It's crazy.
I only write when I'm super sad. So I'm a little bit dramatic, but I do think that, people tend to be more interested in like sadness. And I find sadness a lot more interesting to write about than being happy. So I think I produced a lot of writing specifically before and during the trial process.
Yeah, I think that pain is what makes the most beautiful art. Okay, you can't even like refute that. Why do you think I love sad music? I just think it's,
oh my God.
It's just like
Lauren only listens to sad music.
I don't only listen to sad music. I just think that like I love music, and I think that sad music is more beautiful because it's more meaningful.
Yeah, but she's like, let's get hyped up, and then she's playing like Supermarket Flowers by Ed Sheeran. I'm like, bruh, what?
One, I did not say that. Two, I did not play that song.
Okay, well that was the first one. Some like sad. You're just all of the music you listen to that I.
But it doesn't make me sad.
Okay, but it makes me sad.
Whatever. The point is that like I also wrote a lot during this time, and I think that my writing was actually pretty good. I don't write anymore ever because I'm like happy and like
that's good.
It's crazy. It's actually kind of annoying. That's like the one like good thing, not the only good thing, but like the when you're going through it, like man, you produce some good ass shit.
Deep thoughts.
Anyways, I'm gonna make Shannon read some of her journal stuff that has to do with clothing because I think it hits different.
I don't think it's that deep, but
I like
Lauren.
it.
So I found this is like a collection from my little sad girl journal. Okay. The courtroom is the place where we get to share the pain we have gone through and the arena at which we fight for justice. Quote 1. Quote 2. Today I shopped for additional blazers, dress pants, and shoes for trial. I was unsuccessful. I became exhausted after the first store. Your blazer needs to fit right, but not too tight because then you're too sexual. I want to wear a color that screams confidence and power, but then you look overstated. My shoes need to have a small heel because my dress pants are too long, but not too big of a heel because then I will look like a tall drink of water. Courtesy of my mother, that's what she said. If the toe of the shoe is pointed, then you are too sexy, but if it is rounded, then you look too sweet. I think that's pretty much all I need to share. There was a strong dichotomy of thoughts going on there.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of internal battles going on.
Internal monologue.
Anyways, there are a lot of fucking stressful things about going through this. And some things you don't even think about.
We've got flow. Sorry. I love that guy on TikTok. He like goes around and tries to find faucets that work. And when he turns on like a public faucet and it works, he goes, yeah, dog, we've got flow. I love him.
It's like so like simple. But so pure.
Yeah, dog. We've got flow. We've got flow.
I'm gonna start saying that whenever I like cry. Yeah, dog. Like, yeah, dog. We got flow.
Anyways, there's a lot of stressors when it comes to court.
Yeah, and
no flow.
It really can start with what the fuck you wear, and at the end of the day, you are gonna have that battle in your mind, and people are gonna try to tell you what to do and what to wear. But you got to go with your gut, and you have to go with what you feel good in and what you feel confident in. And I can't stress that enough because, like, if we had just listened to what everyone else was saying, we would probably have been wearing, like, that fucking outfit that Rory Gilmore wore when she had to go to court. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember it, but I imagine it was probably
okay, I feel like we should, like, post a picture of
it. We'll put a picture of it here. This is what we would have looked like.
Yeah. Anyways. It's complicated, but this is one of those things where, like, you have to go with your gut. You just have to.
Yeah, and think about how, like, there's so many different pieces that are uncomfortable in court. Like just the entire thing, like there's nothing comfortable about it. And so if you are at least wearing something that you feel remotely good in, hopefully really good in, then you're going to be able to show up for yourself better, and you're going to be able to tell your story more authentically because you feel more authentic to you. It's that whole thing, like dress better, feel better. What do people say? Dress well, feel good. Dress good, feel good. You know what I'm saying.
Look good, feel good, play good. So he's saying soccer.
Oh. Yeah, look good, feel good, field goal, play good.
Moving along.
On the road again. Next sort of thing. We've talked about what to wear to court, all those sorts of stressors, but like, what does the courtroom look like? I'm going to do my very best to paint a picture for you guys. So this room is probably the size of a fairly large classroom, I would say. Like a big high school classroom, not so much like a college lecture hall. Like high school classroom. There's carpet. There's a big, not the logo. What is the emblem on the wall for the Air Force Academy, right? So you walk in.
The seal?
The seal, yeah. So you walk in and there's these you walk through these double doors. And then there are two small seating areas. And these seating areas, one on the left, one on the right. The left side, we kind of made it like the prosecution side. The right side was kind of defense side. It just kind of ended up being that way. There's little chairs set out.
It was also like much smaller than a courtroom that you'd see in like a movie or a TV show.
Way
like,
smaller.
Think like literally maybe half of that. Maybe less. Maybe a quarter of that, honestly. Yeah. It's tiny. Mm-hmm.
And like the places where we sat were the smallest part. Like where the quote unquote audience sat. Like I think there was only 8 chairs maximum on each side. I think it might have only been 6, I'm not sure, but they had set out chairs, and normally I guess they would have more, but it was like kind of during COVID, so it was that awkward like kind of social distancing, kind of not. But so you walk in, you have both of those sides that everybody's sitting on, and then just like in the movies, those little wooden doors, they probably go up to maybe
like swings open.
Yeah, it kind of like goes to maybe above your knee or so. You would walk through those, and then with their backs facing to the quote unquote audience area, that's where the whole defense team sat. So that was our perpetrator, his 3 attorneys, all of their papers, whatever. And then perpendicular to that, there was all of the prosecution stuff. So our 2 attorneys or whatever.
I feel like after this, we should draw a diagram and then
maybe put a picture up.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Lauren will draw a diagram for us and we'll put a picture here. But I'll keep describing it for those who are just listening. So then, once again, perpendicular to the prosecutor's side, you have the jury members. So the jury members can see the audience members. The defense team cannot see the audience members because their back is to us. Prosecution can see the audience members. In front of the room, kind of on the left side, over here, diagram, that's where the judge sits. So that's kind of like the picture of the courtroom. So now that we've kind of talked about like what the courtroom itself looks like, right outside of the courtroom, there's a waiting area. So like sometimes if people were getting ready to testify or, maybe court had already started and you were kind of like waiting to go in because you don't want to interrupt, you would be in that waiting area. Past the waiting area, there's a hallway and 2 bathrooms, a men's bathroom and a women's bathroom. These are like the only bathrooms that are somewhat near the courtroom. Like all the other bathrooms in the building were super far away. So that means that these 2 bathrooms are servicing everyone in the courtroom except for the jury. They have a special separate space. Obviously, they can't be exposed to anybody else who's involved in the court process at all. So what do you think happens when there's only 2 bathrooms, Lauren, for a prosecution and defense and the audience members?
Let's just say you run into people that you really, 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 really don't want to run into. I feel like it's like a safety concern. Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do when, like, me and Shannon are minding our own fucking business, walking out of the women's bathroom, and then, right in front of us, by like 3 feet, is the fucking guy that raped both of us.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do with that?
Welcome to court, where not only do you have to look at your perpetrator in the eyes, but you also get to run into him outside of the bathroom.
But not only do we run into him, didn't he like hold the door for us?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Holy shit. Think about that. Like really
think about that.
Think about the fact, like, it's kind of an awkward thing of okay, if I were a rapist and I was on trial and I'm on my way to the bathroom, and then, oh, there's one of the girls that I raped also following me, probably go to the bathroom as well. Do I, A, hold the door, B, let it slam on her, C, just not go to the bathroom? Like, kind of what do you do? Or if, for us, if we're the ones going to the bathroom and then our perpetrator is behind us, like, what is the protocol there?
There
like,
fucking isn't.
There isn't one.
And we cracked that joke. We got back. We were like, oh, really kind of frantic. And we dealt with a lot of this craziness with like comedy. And like we got back to the courtroom and like Shannon was like, so like, what the fuck do you do when your rapist holds the door for you?
Yeah. And not to mention, court is long, right? But you need to be in the courtroom for like all that's going on, especially perpetrator, his whole defense team. So if there's a bathroom break, everybody's going to the bathroom. Like, you're not kind of popping in and out of the courtroom. Like, if people are going to the bathroom, everyone's going to take advantage of that, which means we're all flooding the hallway all at once. But truly, yeah, what do you do when your rapist holds the door for you to leave the courtroom? Like, what?
You honestly just got to carry on.
Yeah.
Like, there really isn't anything else you can do. It's so uncomfortable and it's really, really, really awkward. And it's, like, honestly really scary, too. But, like, the only thing you can do is just fucking mind your own business. Like,
don't say
pretend that they're a goddamn fucking brick wall.
Yeah. I didn't say thank you when he held the door because I'm like, well, that's the least you can do.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then also, so our
Oh. Well, I was just going to say, like, the jury gets their own bathroom. Like, come on, give the victims their own fucking bathroom. Like, I understand, like, everyone in the audience sharing a goddamn bathroom. When we have to deal with that and go through that, like, give us another fucking bathroom. There has to be another one somewhere in that building on that floor.
But that's closer. Or just build one. I'm going to be honest. Like, just
fucking build one. I don't care.
Well, it's real. And think about if, like, I think in our case, our perpetrator didn't show signs of being like directly violent. Like, I don't think he was going to like beat the shit out of us in the hallways. But imagine if, you were dealing with a perpetrator who was especially violent in scenarios like that and like was looking to retaliate. Like, if just you and him happened to be walking to the bathroom, like, nobody's monitoring the hallway. So,
or the bathrooms. Like, they could grab you in the bathroom.
Exactly.
It just seems like a safety concern.
I agree. There was another really awesome moment where our perpetrator's mother, so this woman, I think we could do a whole episode on this woman.
Oh my God. She was like certifiably crazy. Not to mention,
a little kooky.
He like, when we were like friends with this guy at the beginning, like he would talk about that his mom was fucking crazy because she's like had like multiple head traumas, which I think is hilarious because of what was said like later in court, which,
we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But so this woman, a little bit on the kooky side,
she was definitely delusional.
Yes. So thing one that made me think, are you not aware of the scenario? In court, especially early on, sometimes she would sit on the side of the audience that we were on. Like, she wouldn't sit behind her son. She would come and like sit and like take my spot. Like, I was sitting in the same chair all day, and it's like that whole assigned seat thing, know? But I'm like, this is my chair. I've been sitting in this chair all fucking day. I'm on my side. I'm not going to sit behind my rapist. I'm going to sit over here. And I go to the bathroom and come back, and this bitch would be in my chair. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. So I'd sit behind her, and she would bring granola bars into court.
Like the loudest goddamn snack you could ever have.
Like, the rappers are like, that's my granola bar impression. But truly, like, I think you were allowed to eat in the courtroom. I never did because that felt really odd to me.
But if you did,
but this woman,
quiet snack.
Think for 5 seconds.
Don't open up a bag of fucking chips.
Like, imagine someone testifying about how, like, imagine someone sitting there and testifying, sharing their story about how they've been assaulted by your son, and you're sitting there opening up a fucking Chewy bar with a loud ass rapper. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm sorry, but that's just so weird to me. Like, I don't know. That was a really weird thing.
It's like she didn't understand the situation that was happening.
Like, the gravity of it.
And, like, the gravity of it. But, like, frankly, I don't think heated either. Like,
No.
we would see them making, like, jokes on, like, the defense side and, like, laughing about shit. And I'm like, does anyone understand, like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, like literally in between, like when the jury would walk out, they would have their chamber time or whatever. That sounds so funny. They would have their chamber time, and then our perpetrator would be sitting there, like laughing, and he would be kind of trying to talk to prosecution as well and cracking some jokes. And it was almost as though he forgot that he was on trial for sexually assaulting several women, including a child.
Well, I just think that he didn't think anything bad was going to happen to him.
Right.
Which is just like, yeah, story of everyone's fucking life. Like, most white men do get off with nothing or with barely anything, and they think that there aren't consequences for this thing. And I honestly think that he was sitting pretty and, like, was like,
there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, I'm, like, this awesome fucking Air Force Academy cadet, you know, tall, good-looking white man. Like, I'm fine.
In my, you know, my blues, my dress blues or whatever they're called. Yeah.
Yeah, his dress uniform. Like, okay, yeah, suck a dick.
Next thing about this man's mother. So, you know, we talked about already running into our assailant in the hallway on the way to the bathroom. But, you know, our assailant was a man. So at least we weren't going into the same bathroom as him. However.
What if they had all gender bathrooms during this time?
Okay, that actually, I've never thought about that. That's horrible.
I'm all for all gender bathrooms. I understand it. I'm a very big proponent of it. But in a case like this, when talking about like courtrooms, I think that there always needs to be some separation in bathrooms, or like that actually could become a real safety thing.
Like a major, That's
very interesting.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Well, back to this. So we're not running into our assailant in the bathroom. However, his mom is a woman who also goes into the women's bathroom. Guess where we go? The women's bathroom. And so there was a lot of times where his mom would say stuff to me, which frankly, it took a lot of urge for me not to smack her. And my favorite one was, I'm in the bathroom, I'm like washing my hands. She comes out of the stall, which another thing, you're like listening to your assailant's mom pee and she's listening to you pee, you know? Like there was a time where I was like taking a dump and then she's just in the stall next to me. I'm like, well, I guess she's just going to hear my shit hit the toilet. Like, and then she's going to hear me talk about the details of her son raping me. Anyways, so, sorry. I'm getting carried away. I'm in the bathroom. I'm washing my hands. His mom comes out of the stall and she washes her hands like next to me. And then when she has a moment, she like grabs me by the wrist and she goes, Shannon, I want you to know I'm really praying for you and everything that you're going through. And I hope that you figure it out and that it gets all solved. She was insinuating, I'm praying to God that you understand that my son didn't assault you. Like, that's what she's telling me.
Well, of course.
And she's basically also calling me crazy.
But she's the fucking delusional one
here. Yeah, I'm like, hey, bitch, wake the fuck up. Your son assaulted like 5 women. Like,
probably more.
I can't imagine how hard as a mother that would be to know that you accidentally created a monster. Like, it's not your fault. It's his fault. However, if there's like 5 women involved, like there's got to be at least a small part of you that is thinking, maybe my son did do this. Like, you know, and her job as a mother is probably to, you know, take his side, support him. Yeah. However, don't say anything to I don't want to say victims. Don't say anything to, you know, the women who have come forward. Keep your mouth shut. Yeah. Don't tell me that I'm crazy for coming forward. Fuck you.
Yeah, I think it's just like one of those things where it's like, it's common courtesy. Like, you can believe what you want. And I understand as a mother, like sticking by your son, but like, don't break that boundary and speak at all to like the survivors of this. Like, that is so fucking inappropriate. And if you don't understand that, you are delusional. Like, no matter what you believe about the case, if you don't understand that it is not okay to talk to us, you are goddamn fucking delusional and you have a fucking problem. And like, yeah, you probably do have goddamn brain trauma, whatever. But like, I mean, I'm glad that she didn't say anything to me because
the talons would have arrived.
Yes, because like I have hit people before for saying shit that's not okay. And I don't think I would have had a problem hitting this woman.
Not good looks, though.
Not good looks, though.
I think all I told to her, I think what I responded was, I'm praying for you too. I think that was my only...
That's kind of like a good response, though, because it's like, It's like,
Yeah.
actually, honey, you're the one that needs like praying for.
Well, and there was definitely a lot of other things that she had said. I wish I remembered them. I think my mom would remember. I also am pretty sure she was talking to she kept trying to talk to my mom.
Yes.
But yeah, this woman was also like frequently having long conversations with my mom. And my mom, like, I think she did a really good job being civil. My mom understood that if she had said something, once again, not good looks for anybody, but she was trying to like talk about the case with my mom in the hallway, and
she just like really didn't understand those boundaries. But what did she say to us when we were walking out of the courtroom? It was both of us. I think he was there too, and lawyers were there. We were all together, like with our lawyers, and we were like walking out of the courtroom, and his mom came up to us and said something to us, and then our lawyers had to actually then go have a conversation with her and tell her that she can't speak to us anymore.
Yeah.
Because it was like so fucking inappropriate.
Yeah.
What did she say?
I don't remember what his mom was saying in that moment, but I do remember she really did not understand that she couldn't talk to us. And not only was she just saying things, she was saying things that were inappropriate, that were insinuating, that were lying, as well as like talking about the case. I'm pretty sure that was it. Like, you weren't allowed to talk about what was going on inside of the courtroom, outside of the courtroom. Like, that did not fly. It's illegal. It was something to the point of there was a conversation that was had with her.
Yeah, from like lawyers who were like, y'all, you have to fucking leave them alone. And like, I remember like just like us like walking out of the courtroom and her like getting like really close to me. She might even like touched me like she did to you. And that's when she said something. It was like, I wish I remembered what it was, but it really was just like I hope you guys like figure it out, or something like weirdly like just undermining our situation and like what we were going through. And it was just so fucking inappropriate. And the fact that like, it's one thing if it happens like once, but if that it happened
frequent
over and over and over again over the course of like multiple days, and it just didn't stop. And it's like, have some fucking common courtesy, have some self-awareness, please. Like, that's the least you can do. Like, I don't give a shit what you believe, because like, you're not my problem, but like, don't make it my problem.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess if you run into your perpetrator or his family in the hallway near the bathroom, just do your best to not say anything. Like, no matter how bad you want, because I had a lot of visions, you know, when you kind of are in the shower and you're talking to yourself.
It was like daydreams.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, like if she came up to me, like, this is what I fucking do. Like, I'd put her in her goddamn place. Like, you want to do that so badly, but like, you can't. And this isn't even the courtroom. Like I know that a lot of like people are assaulted by like family friends, and they have to deal with like the parents. And it's like, if that becomes an issue, just like own your truth. They're going to believe what they're going to believe. It's not your job to make them believe you.
Yeah.
It isn't. And like, it's better to just like do your thing. If they say something that's like way out of pocket, like stand up for yourself. Like own your shit, but like also be self-aware, because they're probably not being self-aware.
And I think ultimately, I do agree with you on the standing up for yourself part. I kind of also disagree though, because at the end of the day, and this is what I kept reminding myself of, I was like, if I don't say anything, then there is nothing that she can say. Like, she can't say I said something bad. She can't come back at me and say that I was being inappropriate. Like, not saying anything, I think, is potentially a good move. And it's sort of that quiet confidence. Like, I reminded myself every day that I was there to try to get justice. And I was there because I had a story to tell that deserved to be heard by somebody who could do something about it. And I was so worried that if I did say something in that moment, it probably would have felt really good to look at his mom and be like, you're disgusting. I cannot believe that you're assuming that I'm lying about this. Like, how dare you say that to me? I just didn't want it to put anything in jeopardy. Like, that wasn't the important thing. That wasn't why I was there. I was there to get justice.
Yeah. Well, I think that like there's a time and a place, right? Like, if you're in a courtroom, if you're going through a trial, yeah, like, you know, you don't need to fight back because it's not worth it. I'm also just saying, like, there might be times when you're not going through a court case and you're dealing with like family members and stuff, and like, you should stand up for yourself, but like, be graceful about it, because that's the best. When you have a comeback that is like graceful and mature, and it makes them look like a fucking idiot, like,
that's
you win.
Powerful.
But at the end of the day, like, it really is about the fact that like they are going to believe what they're going to believe. And that does not take away or undermine anything you have been through. And it can be very hard to remember that. But like, you have to remind yourself that like, this is it. This is my experience. And no one can tell me otherwise. No one can take away from that.
They'll try, but
They'll try, but
can't.
those people can go fuck off.
with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for listening to What They Don't Say. Send us an email at whattheydon'tsay@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram. Leave us a review. Rate the pod. Any thoughts?
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends and your family.
Have some conversations.
Yeah. Talk to someone this week about something important, about an issue you care about.
Yeah.
That's your homework.
Yeah. Show up for yourself.
We'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.